Things like old parchments, leather book bindings, and a curious item marked with the number 6. This fired up everyone, making Marty and his brother sure they'd uncover more interesting stuff. However, their focus shifted briefly to what they thought was a wooden treasure chest. But when they extended a nearby hole, known as H8, they stumbled upon something huge, about 170 feet down. Everyone was eager to figure out what it was, hoping it might help them overcome the tough challenges they've faced for over a decade in their treasure hunt. Unfortunately, trying to reach what they thought might be the treasure chest turned out to be tricky. Digging deeper made the H8 borehole unstable, causing it to spit out dirt and making it risky to dig further, especially since it seemed to be pushing the chest deeper underground. This setback reminded them of an earlier dig and a theory by Terry Matheson. He had guessed that the vault or chest they were after might have been damaged or tampered with by someone in the past. While the theory was intriguing, the team was more interested in recent scans showing signs that there might still be valuable things hidden below. This renewed their determination to reach the suspected vault for a detailed search and excavation, hoping to finally uncover what many have been chasing on the island for over 200 years. As the team continued their efforts on Oak Island, they recognized the importance of handling the materials from the H8 dig site with care. Each piece of evidence they encountered hinted that they were possibly near the long-sought vault. Isn't that exciting? These hints reinforced their commitment to the search for the legendary treasure rumored to be hidden somewhere on the island. This discovery was a real morale booster, energizing the team as they worked tirelessly to solve this age-old riddle. As they wrapped up one find, the team turned their focus to another spot, eager to see what else the island might show them. Exploring ancient pathways. This renewed determination brought them back to the southeastern wetlands of the island, close to where the original money pit was thought to be. The team was buzzing with excitement about what they might uncover in this area, particularly near the ancient stone path. What things could this place hold about the island's rich past? The team was on the cusp of finding out just how significant this cobblestone path was, historically known as a bustling area in earlier times. Filled with anticipation, the team dug into the deepest parts of the marsh. While their main goal was the elusive treasure, they were also open to finding ancient artifacts and relics hidden beneath the area's marshy surface. During this intense period of exploration, Gary Drayton took advantage of the situation. He and some team members began to speculate that the stone path might have also served as a wharf for ships that once came to the island. Intriguingly, this path was not only historically significant because of its connections to the Knights Templar, but it might also reveal how the island was used as a landing spot for unloading goods. Alex Lagina was particularly struck by the stories and the deep historical significance of Oak Island. He was amazed by the ancient nature of the relics they were uncovering. Motivated by a strong desire to delve deeper, the team ramped up their efforts. While Gary pressed on with his specific searches, the rest of the team focused on gathering more clues that could shed light. If you have any further requests, let me know. On the history of the stone path, this effort was not only about finding treasures, but also understanding the significance of any items they came across during their investigations. Rick Lagina, in particular, was drawn to what was happening in a specific corner of the bog, believing it could be a key factor in unraveling the 200-plus-year-old treasure hunt. Despite the excitement of the treasure hunt, the team was fully aware of the numerous challenges they faced. Nevertheless, the historical importance of the swamp in relation to the treasure hunt was highlighted, possibly due to an exciting find by Gary Drayton in that very area. This find increased their confidence that they might one day actually uncover the treasure. As they moved forward, the team stumbled upon an odd boulder situated close to the stone path. They suspected that it might have been placed there deliberately. This thought gave them hope that they were perhaps on the right track to uncovering the treasure that had been sought by many over the last 2 centuries. Exploring these intriguing clues and their unique positions, Rick became particularly interested in the importance of this boulder. Shortly after, Billy Gerhardt led the team to a series of rocks he had recently found. They were thrilled when they realized these rocks seemed to form a trail leading up to the boulder, located near the stone path and the original money pit. Jack Begley began to ponder the historical events that might have transpired in this area, while Billy pointed out the significant potential for discoveries in such a place. The possibility that they were finally closing in on something substantial was palpable. Each member of the team felt the weight and potential of their findings, driving them to dig deeper and explore further. The site near the boulder and stone path was meticulously examined. They mapped out the area, noted every small detail, and carefully excavated around the boulder, hoping to uncover any signs or artifacts that could connect the dots to the legendary treasure. Their exploration didn't stop at digging. The team employed advanced technology, like ground-penetrating radar and metal detectors, to scan the surrounding area for any buried objects that might not be visible to the naked eye. Each beep and signal from their equipment brought a wave of anticipation and hope. As they progressed, the team documented everything meticulously. Photographs, video recordings, and detailed notes were taken to ensure that no detail was overlooked. This documentation was crucial not just for their records, but potentially for future historians who might study their efforts to unravel the questions of Oak Island. With each new dig, more pieces of Oak Island's history came to light, bringing them closer to what might be hidden below. Digging up Oak Island's buried history. The deeper they dug, the more layers of the island's past were revealed. Pottery shards, old coins, and fragments of metal tools were among the artifacts unearthed, each adding a piece to the historical problem of Oak Island. These findings suggested the presence of earlier settlers or visitors who might have used the island for various purposes. Discussions around the campfire in the evenings turned to theories and ideas about what might lie beneath. The team debated and discussed various historical events that could have led to the burial of treasure on Oak Island. They speculated about pirates, colonial hidden caches, and even ancient civilizations. Each theory was considered, no matter how far-fetched, because, on Oak Island, anything seemed possible. The spirit of camaraderie among the team members grew as they shared this adventure. Their collective efforts, the challenges they overcame, and the small victories along the way brought them closer together. This wasn't just a treasure hunt. It was a historical expedition, uncovering layers of the past that could rewrite the history books. As the season progressed, the team prepared for the possibility that they might actually find the vault or treasure they had been seeking. Preparations were made for the safe and respectful handling of any significant finds. Discussions with historians and experts were conducted to ensure that they were ready to properly manage and preserve any historical artifacts they might uncover. So it really wasn't a shock to the crew when they found out Rick was keen on continuing the dig. During their chat, they discovered that Rick's interest had been sparked by the odd arrangement of stones and a large rock they'd recently come across. The unusual positioning of this rock made Rick suspect it might be quite significant in their larger quest. Thinking back, it must have been quite a buzz for Gary Drayton, who was really into the idea of discovering treasures for himself and his team. Since the site was near the stone path and the famous money pit, the whole team was buzzing with excitement about the endless possibilities this area could offer. Their excitement was likely fueled by the strategic placement of the rock they stumbled upon. With this in mind, Rick pointed out how crucial it was to take a closer look at this area. The prospect of what they might find was thrilling for everyone, but Gary couldn't shake a certain feeling, so he expressed his concerns about how deep this new find really was. He came across some clues in a wooden object buried just a couple of feet under the earth. A closer examination of this wooden piece showed its unique shape and heft. An even more detailed look led Gary to think it might be part of a ship's decking. This realization helped explain why their metal detectors hadn't picked it up since it was made of wood. Keen to connect this wooden piece to a possible shipwreck, the team doubled down on their search for any evidence that could link this fragment to a larger historical context. Determined to uncover more from this piece of wood, the team agreed to dig deeper. This insight made Marty ponder the team's consistent effort in the swamp, especially given the tough conditions they faced there. Sure, they had often found items that didn't mean much, but this might change if they kept up their strong effort, especially in the intriguing swamp environment. This led them to consider how long metal objects could survive in the swampy ground. Following Rick's instructions, the team ran into some tough challenges, particularly Jack Begley, who had trouble finding metal in the Money Pit area, specifically in Lot 5, where they were actively searching for the missing metal presumed to be buried there. At the same time, other team members were making headway elsewhere on the island. For example, an archaeological team was digging up an unusual stone foundation they had found under a circular depression earlier in the year. This excavation led them to stone constructions that didn't fit with what was typically known in archaeology. When Jamie Kuba, an archaeologist on this team, talked about these discoveries, he mentioned he was getting a clearer picture of the stone structure they had unearthed. This new focus brought their attention to artifacts uncovered at about 161 feet deep. These finds gave them insights into the various people who had lived on the island over the ages. For instance, they uncovered a lead trading token from the 14th century, Venetian glass beads dating anywhere from the 1500s to the mid-1600s, and metal tools linked to Sir William Phipps. The team's excitement grew as they moved to a new area, ready to dig deeper and see what the island had kept out of sight. Following the trail of Oak Island's old foundation, eager to mark the boundaries of the old foundation, Jamie Kuba decided it was time to lay out the plan for the team. Despite the challenge of such a task, excitement was running high in the camp. The team's anticipation grew even further when they realized their exploration could potentially connect the site to the legendary treasure thought to be hidden on the island. Wouldn't that be something? Jack thought that certain periods in history might have left their traces here, suggesting an ancient presence in Lot 5. What could the bricks, ceramics, and glass they found tell them, if not that there was a deeper story to this place? These items might complicate the investigation a bit, but they could also lead them to understand their connection to the infamous Money Pit legend. Perhaps they might even point the way to the treasure that has been sought by many for over 2 centuries. With renewed vigor, Jamie Kuba and the team set out to gather more data that might aid their mission. Energized by these new opportunities, Jack was eager to make sure the team played a significant part in these findings. This effort could reassure everyone that they were moving quickly towards significant discoveries in their project. Clearly, to make any real progress, the team needed to work closely and effectively together. Over time, the team noticed some interesting aspects of their environment. The density of the dirt in the area suggested that there might be mortar nearby. This discovery gave them hope that they were making the right steps toward locating the storied treasure rumored to be somewhere on the island. Meanwhile, Laird Niven was about to join the group at a newly discovered stone foundation on the western part of the island. When they reached this area on the coastline of Lot 5, they felt they were on the verge of another substantial discovery. At the same time, Kubo was busy examining a grayish material she stumbled upon. This substance looked a lot like rough mortar or maybe even concrete. It was strikingly similar to a material they had come across before in the Money Pit area. Jack recalled a similar encounter near excavation site H8 back in 2019. Such findings were not new for the team or those watching the exploration unfold from home. They often came across different types of concrete and construction materials while digging around the Money Pit. Given these considerations, Laird thought it would be a good idea to check in with Emma, the team's expert in metals and materials. He believed she could shed some light on this latest find by comparing it to a previous sample from the Money Pit, hopefully figuring out where it came from. Jamie was all set to help out by providing a sample for analysis. Laird, though, was a bit worried about the intricacies of such an analysis. Understanding the origins of materials was often tricky, and finding a comparable soil sample could be challenging. Still, he was hopeful. Laird clung to the belief that, sooner or later, the perfect conditions would arise that would allow them to learn something truly significant from what they had found. For the time being, the team had to do the best they could with what they had. They were all hoping that their hard work would eventually lead them to discover the long-talked-about treasure hidden on this strange island. In the meantime, as Kuba and Jamie prepared the sample for Emma, they discussed the potential significance of this find. They pondered whether this material could be part of the infrastructure used by past treasure seekers, or perhaps even remnants from those who originally hid the treasure. The idea that they might be touching pieces of history connected directly to the legendary treasure added an extra layer of excitement to their work. Could the discovery of the Oak Island treasure be real? Or is there still more to uncover beneath the surface? Is this just another chapter in the island's long history? Or have we truly found the gold chest? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more.